Everybody, Steph from the Hot Move Podcast. So that concludes the Western Conference Finals. Dallas Mavericks handles business as they should. But first of all, congratulations to the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? Look, when this season started, I don't think anybody had them being in the Western Conference Finals. Okay, they're one of the better teams this season. They found a way to be in the Western Conference Finals, led by Anthony Edwards. So look, this is a learning experience for him. I'm sure he'll get his crack at it. Who knows at what point in his career, later in his career in the future. You can make the argument that this could have been Anthony Edwards' best shot at reaching the NBA Finals, but that remains to be seen going forward and how he develops into the up-and-coming superstar that he's definitely showcased in these playoffs. So kudos to Anthony Edwards. These are just the lumps, right? It's a lot to put on a 22-year-old to try to get the job done against a very talented Dallas Mavericks team. So credit to the Wolves for getting this far. And now we can let's actually break down this game a little bit. The Mavericks were on a mission tonight, man. And Luka Doncic's 20-point first quarter, it was a wrap. Once they got up to such a strong lead led by him, and when he got to the bench, Kyrie, he knew what he needed to do. He turned the switch on and make sure that the lead they had built, it was like a 30-18 lead, I believe, after sometime late in the first quarter or about the start of the second quarter. And Kyrie was attacking. Attack. He was making sure to protect this lead, and they built on that, man. Gafford's going to be an unsung hero in this series, the center for the Dallas Mavericks. You can make the case in this series he was the better big man, the better center. He played way better defense than the opposition in Rudy Gobert Defensive Player of the Year. I get it. Different teams, different defensive sets, and what's required from a Gobert and Gafford. But Gafford looked better in his role compared to what Rudy Gobert did in his role. And Gafford, look, 3 for 3, getting lobs, hustling. Going after 50-50 balls, contesting shots left and right. Huge difference in his game, obviously, was getting Lively back. And when they got Lively back, it was over, right? Clearly Lively, look, he's not going to show up for scoring or anything like that, right? He's going to get dunks and puts back. Same for Gafford as well. But what they do patrolling that paint, protecting that rim, is unmatched. Credit to Jason Kidd. I didn't see this coming. I didn't see this defensive effort coming. If you're a Dallas Mavericks fan, you probably saw this coming. But when you look at this team, they look like a very complete team. And the Wolves just they didn't have a chance in this game. Look, the Mavericks saw this as a great opportunity before the series started. I had Mavs winning this in 6. They got it done a lot sooner than that. But I was like, look, this is for Luka Doncic's career. This is a great spot for him to get to an NBA Finals, right? It was tailored. It seemed like this was the perfect scenario. I felt like the Mavs matched up a little bit better than the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Mavs smelled blood in the water, and they got the job done, right? So now NBA Finals, man. Boston Celtics, Dallas Mavericks. I'll say this again. I have Mavericks winning that series, winning the championship. In 6 games, right? Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic got 36 apiece tonight. What are you gonna do with that? They were basically identical on the court, right? What are the Boston Celtics gonna do with that, right? It really boils down to, do you trust Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown late in games, by the way, compared to Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving? Luka Doncic loves playing on the road. You think he is not gonna feast in that Boston crowd, right? East Coast, Celtic pride. He's going to relish in that, right? The bigs, Gafford, Lively, they're mobile, they're active. The team is committed to defense. The role players, Jones, Washington, right? They stack up well, and I feel like in a lot of ways has the advantage, right, over the Boston Celtics. in that series. So looking forward to the NBA Finals matchup. I think this is going to be a really good one. The Boston Celtics haven't really been tested. Yeah, you can make the case they've been testing in close games that the Pacers washed away to them. But the Boston Celtics have been looked at as the best team all year. Okay, record-wise, they did their job nonetheless, despite all the injuries in the Eastern Conference, to get and reach the NBA Finals. So, okay, they're going to be if there's any team to test them, if there's an ultimate test for the Boston Celtics, it's this Dallas Mavericks team, right? I would be shocked if the Celtics win this championship. I don't trust the Boston Celtics. I like Jaylen Brown, but late game, Jason Tatum, right? I felt like he got bailed out a couple times with Jaylen Brown on that Pacers series for some fourth quarter collapses. Okay, Pacers just didn't know how to close out ball games. Dallas Mavericks doesn't have any issues with closing out ball games, and they like playing games tight. This game was an aberration in this series, considering how close each games were. And tonight, on the road, we saw the full offensive repertoire, led by Luka Doncic, who, in my opinion, you got to make the case right now, he's the best player in the NBA. Okay. And going into next season, I said this before too as well. Before this, when the season starts, before a ball is even tipped, he will be leading MVP candidate if he's able to cap this off, winning the championship. Luka Doncic has been that nice. He's been excellent, right? And this is what you expect from your superstars. And Luka, is he going to get to a finals? He's done that. He's been to 2 conference finals, and he's cashed in on one of them to reach the NBA finals. So he is resume stacking as that elite player. That his talent warrants that type of credit and has been deserved. And also, too, shout out to Jason Kidd, right? I mean, it was tough getting in Kyrie last year, trying to figure out the chemistry. They found ways to make it work. They found ways to create a defensive scheme to help Luka Doncic, because he is not the best defender, even though, to Luka's credit, he has been putting a little more effort defensively, right? So kudos to Jason Kidd in this squad and getting to the NBA Finals, man. So on the side, Anthony Edwards walking off the court. I don't think he stayed to shake hands. Not a good look for a young player, right? People are going to talk about that. I didn't see him shake hands. I get it. He's frustrated. Michael Parsons is not going to be able to get those shoes in Dallas that Anthony Edwards promised him. So, he's young. He'll get a pass. But going forward, you got to show better sportsmanship than that, right? You talk the talk. He backs his game up, but tonight he wasn't able to do that. He had a good game, but a lot of those points came when they didn't matter. 28 points. He had an efficient game, 10 for 18, but too little, too late. Karl-Anthony Towns had a big game. Again, too little, too late. If you watch the full game, not really impactful scoring. So Anthony Edwards, as he's young, growing, developing, he's going to have to get better on that front. So anyways, thanks for watching. Leave me your thoughts about this game and the upcoming finals matchup, the Boston Celtics versus Dallas Mavericks. I'm out.